It would have been a real picture of me there.
Welcome to A Few Smoke, Few Jokes, episode 7.
Dwayne nearly put himself on a t-shirt.
Hang 3. 3 points to start.
The boys
What's
got
happening?
tattoos with my name on their arm and all.
You were really with the Instagram bio.
What's happening?
Bollocks myself in this chair here.
It's nearly changed today's date to Roman numerals for you.
I have to sit on the chair because I keep bouncing around the room all the time. You can't hear me at all, hiding wardrobes, the whole crack.
Should get out of my wardrobes. Hadn't came out of the closet this fella. Can't say that.
What's the story? There's no
Banned.
wardrobes in this room. I've just realised that. It's a press.
A press. Is it a press or a wardrobe? Like, or a cupboard, sorry.
Cub.
A cupboard.
A cupboard.
No
No,
way.
it's a press.
It's a press, isn't it?
Yeah.
I go with press.
What's a cupboard? Something you have glasses in. A press you have
That could be a
clothes.
wardrobe if you put a
Nah.
door in it.
Bro, that is a shelf.
A cupboard is a very Protestant word.
Yeah.
A cupboard.
Yeah.
It's real.
The press is real Catholic, like, do you know what I mean?
The press.
If I say the cupboard,
press up their shelves, you know what I mean?
will we get fined for saying the Celts?
No.
No. That's,
Right, anyway.
you know,
What we talking about, boys? Oh yeah, we've no guests because we're just let down, but we'll get them next week.
No guess. No guess. What's that?
But guess what?
the
We'll just talk to each other. We will.
usual.
Right, well, we just bang in a few questions, will we?
Yeah,
Straight to
ask
the
me a question.
Right. If you found out in 2 days you were going to die, what would you do and why? And I'm going to add a little bit onto that. Would you tell people
Right.
that you were about to die?
Well, let's start you off. I'll tell you what I do, right?
You have to sit closer to me. You don't have to eat the thing, right?
First thing I do, day one, yeah. I'd straight to skydiving. Skydiving is something I'd love to do.
What if you had no money? Would you not do a post office?
No, I just tell people that. No, this is where I'm going to answer Brandon's question. I would tell people because then the charities will give me loads of money and I'll be able to do skydiving if I want it.
What charities would you go for? We like, gives a bit of money.
What's the one? Make a wish. And my wish would be skydiving.
Right, that takes what? 2 hours a day. What would you do with the rest of the day? What would you eat?
Oh, loads of KFC.
Oh no,
KFC.
KFC has gone dirt.
Your last meal?
Oh.
KFC?
KFC.
That's a good question.
It'd be like I'd order a lot now. I get like the bucket of chicken, the boneless banquet,
Can I just say?
about all the gravies.
Do you want a good story about KFC? I'll give
Yeah.
you a banging story right now. It's going to take me a few minutes.
If
but
you're
I'll give
gonna
you a
tell me
banging
the
story.
chicken's fake, you're
Take
fucking
our time.
No, I'm going to give you a good story, right? So I heard this on the Blind Boy podcast. And we were talking about him last week.
Yeah.
Blind Boy, right? So
And I
he-
checked it out. It's not that great.
It's fucking unreal. Look up. Well, I'm going to tell you what the episode's about, so don't look up this one, but I'll give you a good episode to listen. But anyway, KFC, right? So Colonel Sanders, yeah,
Yeah.
lived in America, right? Fun fact: he shot a man to death and didn't go to prison for it
Why?
because it was just back in the day and they just let you do that.
West
Anyway,
Days,
right.
wasn't it?
He owned a petrol station, and that's where he started making the chicken.
Yeah.
Took him years to like perfect this recipe of chicken. He really was into his chicken. Like.
Love
So
chicken.
he made this chicken, everyone wanted his chicken. Couldn't keep up with the demand, so he started opening franchises, KFC, yeah?
Yeah.
So after a couple of years, whatever, he's all across America, and he's getting too old, right? So he sells it to this businessman.
The recipe.
He sells the business with the recipe, obviously, yeah? To this businessman. But he's still going to be involved, he's just not going to own it, he's not going to have to do much work, because he's like 60 at this stage, yeah?
Yeah.
That's only a nipper.
Right, well anyway, you retire around 65, and this was back in the day, people were dead at 30. But anyway,
True.
True.
so,
You're always getting shot back in them days.
by him apparently. But, so he sells it to this businessman, but this businessman obviously is a businessman. He doesn't care about good chicken. He cares about money.
Right.
So he's cutting corners. He's you know shitting the recipe. And Colonel Sanders sees this and he's not happy about it,
Yeah.
right? So what he does is he starts a KFC franchise in Canada with a man that I can't remember his name, but I'm gonna get his name now in a minute. But there's a man an Irishman.
Irishman.
I wish I knew his name, but I can't remember his name, but I'll get his name in a minute. He starts with this Irishman in Canada, right? So he gives the recipe then to this Irishman, the original KFC recipe.
Yeah.
Gives it to this Irishman. This Irishman comes back to Ireland and opens the first KFC in Ireland in Limerick.
Right.
Right? In Limerick.
Me and him are barred out there. We'll tell you that another time.
Yeah.
Anyway, so he opens this KFC in Limerick, right? whatever. He's selling this original recipe chicken, yeah, like the good chicken that Colonel Sanders used to make himself. So anyway, time goes on, Colonel Sanders dies or whatever, and the businessman takes over all the KFCs all over the world. And sues this man, this Irishman that owns a KFC in Limerick. So this Irishman has to change the name of his KFC. So he changes it to whatever. Let's just say his name's Ned Kelly, right?
Yeah.
Well, Ned Kelly. Well, yeah.
Ned.
So he changes to Ned Kelly's original fried chicken or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now he sponsored. Here's another little fun fact for you, right? This is a very educational podcast if you're into your chicken, right? He sponsored the first ever League of Ireland, the first ever professional football league in Ireland was sponsored by KFC. It was called the KFC League of Ireland, right?
Right.
And what did it stand for?
KFC, Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Oh, you just kept it as a chicken.
Yeah, no. This was before he was made change the name. The league was called KFC League of Ireland, and then it was changed to Ned Kelly's original Fried Chicken League of Ireland. Yeah, or whatever,
Right.
yeah. So he changes it to that, right? Now fast forward to today. That shop still exists in Limerick.
Yeah.
Good
Right.
on Ned Kelly.
No, his son owns it now, I think. No, his son does something else that we'll get to in a minute. But that chicken shop still exists, and it's called Chicken Hut.
We were in it.
Chicken Hut.
Remember Chicken
Chicken
Hut that
Hut.
night? And we got fucked out of soup. Oh no, that was a different time.
And did you eat the chicken?
Fucking lethal.
Because that's the original Colonel Sanders recipe.
And it's
you know
gorgeous.
where else has the original Colonel Sanders recipe?
Where?
This
Canada?
Ned Kelly's cousin
Yeah.
opened his own chicken shop down in Cork
Right.
that goes by the name of Hillbillies.
Hillbillies.
Hillbilly's lethal as well.
Hillbillies in Walkinstown. Isn't that where it is? Off the Walkinstown roundabout?
Yeah.
There's two of them in Dublin. There's one in Cork. So if you're eating in Hillbillies or Chicken Hut in Limerick,
Yeah.
Chicken
you're
Hut
eating
is
the
elite.
original Colonel Sanders KFC recipe.
So let me ask you this: the KFC recipe is obviously worth a few quid.
Yeah.
So
No, that's my next part. Ned Kelly's son,
Yeah.
what he does now, his line of business now is he makes fried chicken flour with like all the spices and all
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
You can buy 5 kg bags of this in Limerick. There's this factory that does this, right?
Right.
So all these chippers all over the world are buying this. And they're making chicken with this, and that's the original KFC recipe. So you can buy the original KFC recipe flour mix with the 11 secret herbs and spices in it.
I think I'll have it in the gaff there, not gonna lie.
A
Yeah.
5 kg bag.
It's a tub. But yeah, it's 5 kilo.
Yeah,
Your dad made the other night, it was lethal.
yeah, that's the one now. I'm gonna look up this.
I'm
man
gonna
now.
show you actually after, just so you don't
So
think I'm...
you're saying we should take a
Listen.
trip down to try a bit of the real KFC?
Did you not go to Pete? No, it was me.
I don't think I did.
Me, two Tally and Keto. And, oh my, different. It's a different
Good?
gravy. Yeah, it's unbelievable. Chicken.
I do agree with you though. KFC has kind of been slacking.
Big time slacking.
Like,
There's
Have you ever go to
bonus
different
banquets
KFCs?
just don't taste the same.
And you don't even
Chicken,
get chips
like-
in them half the time.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Oh, do you remember? No popcorn chicken at all.
No popcorn, chicken, or chips, right?
So
Getting a bonus banquet meal,
yeah.
and they just gave us the chicken and a gravy. So we
We
went up.
didn't get the gravy at first.
No, we got the gravy. We didn't get
That
popcorn
chicken
chicken.
hut gravy is meant to be the bollocks. As well.
It's so good, so thick.
So what about Ned Kelly's gravy?
I'm gonna get Ned Kelly's real name here because I feel like he deserves more than what we're doing.
Right. And he
Oh,
obviously makes good gravy.
Yeah, you'll find his name there, Brandon, will you?
That's what I'm trying to do. I'm on an article here.
I've looked there. Like,
So-
while you're doing that,
Well,
go
you're
on.
saying, wait, did Colonel
Grace,
Sanders?
Pat Grace.
Pat Grace is not Ned Kelly on
Pat-
bar.
Yeah,
Right.
I just said we'll call him Ned Kelly.
Right.
Pat
so-
Grace. That was his name. Pat Grace brought the original KFC recipe to Ireland, and I've just read there on Lad Bible that Ireland may be the only place in the world that has the original KFC Colonel Sanders recipe.
So we could buy, like, for tourists, put that in the list.
Yeah, yeah.
The proper
definitely.
chicken.
Chicken Hut in Limerick.
So, what's the story with the actual KFC franchise? Is that recipe not real, or it's
Their
just
recipe
changed?
is real, but they use like cheaper ingredients and stuff. You know what I mean?
Right.
Whereas I was gonna call him Ned Kelly and Pat Grace
Pat Grace.
made sure that they used the original Colonel Sanders recipe.
Nice.
You know what I mean? So there's a little last.
We
there's a
should
little
do.
story for
We
KFC.
should go down there and try it.
But let's go back
The 1 day to live.
to the 1 day to live, or the 2 days.
2
to live
days.
thing.
Yeah.
So you've answered, right?
I'm going down to Pat Grace.
Yeah, well, now I am, yeah.
Is he not dead yet?
Packer, no, I think he's still alive. Or he could be dead. But his son does. So, see, if I could just like go on to the Blind Boy podcast and listen to it, like we'd be able to find out exactly. But like, I don't want to be sitting here for an hour
Talk about, yeah,
talking
someone
about
else's
greatest
podcast.
things. Yeah.
Yeah,
But there's a little story for you if you didn't know.
it's a great story actually.
It is good to know because now you know, don't go near KFC, go to
Chicken Hut.
or
Chicken
Hillbillies.
or
Hillbillies is
yeah.
lethal as well.
That's why Hillbillies is so nice because
Yeah.
it's the original recipe. As far as I know, now, but Chicken Hut definitely, because that Chicken Hut was the first ever KFC in like Europe, or anything, outside America and Canada.
Right, come here. So you're going there for your 2 days to live anyway.
Me? No, he said that.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah,
you are.
Yeah.
So
More to life than chicken, man.
yeah, what else would you do? You've another whole day.
Skydiving, no, hats,
Pack rice.
hack races, Chicken Hut.
Would you not be out there like taking hips?
No,
No, I'm bored. Sorry, cancelled.
I'm bored.
Right,
Like,
Brandon, what
I'd
would you
start
do?
renting supercars and all, and just like I'd be flying down the M50. Like,
Surely
so
there's
much
better
enjoy
things
life.
to do than drive cars.
but what would you do?
Good question. I'm thinking, what's the best thing
Do you
I'd
want me to
do?
go?
Yeah, you go.
Right, so by 2 days to live, I wouldn't tell anyone I only had 2 days to live.
I would.
No, I wouldn't. Because on day one, I'd have a little party.
Yeah.
Have a little party, just in the local. Just ask everyone to come. But if you tell everyone you're going to die, everyone's going to come.
Yeah.
If you don't, the real people who actually enjoy being with you are going to come. Like.
Yeah.
So have like the family and all there. And then on day 2, man, just chill out and do what you like doing, like playing a bit of FIFA, watching a bit of Netflix, get a takeaway or something. My last meal, chili cheese bites out of Burger King.
Stop.
They are nice.
They're the bollocks, man.
They are
Burger
nice.
King is scrap.
I had a
More
Burger
scrap.
King today. You ever tried the triple beef burger? Huge. Lovely.
What,
There's
you-
no sauce in
what, 'cause you're
burgers.
a
There is
super
sauce
man.
in them.
Or you're a
Superman.
Superman, you're a Supermax man. You're
Yeah.
a Galway hurler, you.
Supermax
Supermax
is
is
A1
nice.
sharp.
It's not the best though.
You for real?
Yeah,
Right.
well, the Chicken Hut's better. Alright.
Alright, I didn't say it wasn't.
Hillbillies.
Yeah, I just
When are we going for the Chicken Hut? That's what I want to know.
whenever
We have
you
to go
flip the
try
tour
it.
seat in the Kangoo because you're used to stunt, don't drive.
And we have to record a podcast in Chicken Hut.
Surely
Right.
we have to.
Yeah, we have to.
Yeah, we will.
Someone get in touch with Chicken Hut there.
Two of us do the podcast. One of us
Chicken
runs the
Hut
rest.
also have a slogan. He said this in his podcast as well. Do you know what their slogan is?
What?
The fork's in the bag, you go. And they sell t-shirts with that written on it. And like hats and stuff. The fork's in the bag, you go. Because one night, some like American tourist or something went in there after a night out in Limerick.
He surely made that up.
And he
bro.
goes, no, I swear to God, he goes, no one else him to fill it. And he goes, sorry, is there a fork? She goes, the fork's in the bag, you go. And
Fork's
now
in the
it's like
bag,
their
you
slogan.
go.
It's like their slogan now, yeah.
Oh,
Go.
Lord.
That's good.
I'd just chill out with the family and friends and then
That's what I mean. I'd have a party with like my family and my friends. And
I wouldn't be doing that until mental.
I'd go do a few supercars.
No, I'd just like reminisce and think, did I do enough while I was here or not? And then I'd be like, no, die. That's all you can do, isn't it?
Like,
Fuck that, going to make a wish and all, making it all, I'm gonna die. Kiss this. Ah. Yeah, but anyway, boys, quote of the day. Who has it?
I don't know. You?
No, just stay hard, innit? Stay hard, motherfucker.
See you at Jupiter, motherfucker.
Oh, I have the quote today.
Well,
The fork's in the bag, you go.
that's a slogan, you go.
Right, boys.
Paranormal experiences. Anyone have any?
I tell the Santi story.
Gives a shot. Do you actually not have any real paranormal?
What do you mean real? This is real.
Oh, sorry.
This really happened, like.
We don't take you
Well,
serious ever.
I think it did, anyway. So I was a young child, yeah. Probably about 4. And sure, I was around being a child or whatever, and it was Christmas. And it was Christmas Eve night, and I heard a bit of pitter patter on the roof. And I got a bit of a fright. So I went in and told the old boy. That old boy, there's a bit of pitter patter on the roof there. And he says, "Oh, that must be the rain there." And I said, "Oh, I'm mad scared of the pitter patter and all." So he goes, "Right, come on, get into the lab there." And so I was in my ma and dad's room then, sleeping away. And I wake up in the middle of the night. Now, this could have been a dream. 'Cause I was 4, you know what I mean? So
But
I
surely nobody,
remember.
there wasn't a roofer on the roof. Like,
No, but obviously not. But you know the way like the pipes clang in the ceiling. You're like, "Oh, there he is. Go to sleep."
yeah,
Right?
fair.
And you're like,
Paranoid out
and I'm
enough.
4, and I'm like, "Oh God." Right?
Here's a milk bottle.
So anyway, right. So I'm asleep, and I wake up, and I look at the old boy, and I turn to look up, and I see this figure in the like above the face. Do you know what I mean? That type, right? So imagine you're lying in the bed, right? Just above you, you see this thing, big red nose, big beard, and all. Sure, it was Santa himself, wasn't it?
Oh God.
So I just hit my box the dirty innocent boy, right? And I swear to God, I just went boom, and then I just turned over, closed the eyes, terrified to open them again. In case Santa was like, "You're not getting on me," and still battered me. And then I went back to sleep, and I woke up the next day.
My dad's guts were all over the floor.
And I said it to my dad, and he said, "All right."
Holding his
With
nose.
a big red nose on him.
But yeah, so that was my paranormal, if you could call it.
That was
paranormal.
definitely a
A
dream.
dream, yeah, I know. I think.
I had to
But you know, do you ever like I've had dreams like this? Do you ever like do something like that, throwing a punch? I felt the punch connect. Like,
Yeah.
do you know what I mean? Do you ever get that in a dream?
Or you
Oh,
get,
Like you kick something and you can feel the pain in your
Yeah.
foot.
you
Like.
get punched in the head, shot in the head, and then you wake up.
You instantly
Or do
wake
you ever
up
get
though.
something chasing you and you're running in slow motion, your legs go to jelly
And you
in
can't
the dream.
scream and
Can't
all.
scream.
Oh, I'm pretty sure that's sleep paralysis.
Do you ever piss
Yeah.
in your dream? You
Never.
wake up covered in piss.
No, you're on your own, bro.
No, that's happened to me. Obviously when I was a child. But at the same time, it's a pitter patter on the roof.
No, boys, I was
Yeah,
walking.
if you're ever
downstairs.
pissing in your dream, just know you're pissing in real life as well, man.
But you know what used to freak me out about Santa?
What?
Do you know that song he used to sing all the time, you know? Christmas, it was like he knows when you're sleeping and all.
Yeah.
I used to be mad paranoid about that. Because I wouldn't be able to
Closing
sleep on
the eyes
Christmas.
and opening them. Ah, I got you fat filth.
I wasn't asleep, right? But my eyes were closed and I'm like, fucking no.
He's on to me, he's on to me.
Boys, you think after 5 or 6 years, still getting presents every Christmas. It doesn't matter if I'm a little prick this year, but I'm doing 7 gaps. Still getting me toilet. Gullible as fuck.
What's your
kids, aren't they?
paranormal,
Right, I'll tell you, I was getting up earlier than my ma. My ma usually wakes us up for school. And I was getting up.
What age were you?
I used to love going down and robbing the Cocoa Puffs because there's a limited Cocoa Puffs for 11 kids, obviously.
Oh yeah.
Four's coming, 4 served.
Yeah,
5:30, up out of the lab. School uniform on, I get to the top of the landing and I look down the stairs. Now, obviously I'm still tired, rubbing the eyes. 110% a white figure standing at the bottom of the stairs looking back up.
Yeah.
110%, I am convinced. And then a few days later, it was Kevin's birthday. And he was 16th birthday. He came home absolutely pissed. And my ma, obviously lifted him out, sent him to bed. She stayed up worrying about him all night if he was going to get sick in his sleep or whatever, because he was fucking probably first time he got caught drinking. And then it was fine. But she could tell me that she thought she seen her dad in that night,
Right.
standing over watching her sleep. Convinced.
Your ma sleep?
Yeah, so that's probably the scary shit. Obviously, I sprinted back to bed. I said, fuck the Cocoa Pops. I know to sleep. I tried to go, but I couldn't sleep after. I was too scared.
I'm actually have to remember a little paranormal thing that happened to me at work like a couple of months ago.
Yeah.
I was walking out the back of like where I work, and it's like a door in to go to like the toilet and the canteen and all.
Yeah.
And I seen someone in like a supermarket uniform walking in, yeah.
Hmm.
So I thought it was a man that was on with me as well. Wayne, right?
Yeah.
So I think it's Wayne, and I'm like, oh, there's Wayne, like going to the toilet. I didn't think too much of it. Like, I'm walking out to have a smoke. Next of all, the flaps to the door behind me move, and I turn around and there's Wayne. But we were the only 2 young fellas in that night. Do you know what I mean?
So something moved behind you.
No, like I seen like what I thought was I just seen a young fella in a Super Bowl uniform walk in to go to the toilet.
Yeah.
But just when you catch someone just as they're going
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
door,
Yeah.
you only see the back of them really. So I just thought it was him.
Yeah.
And so I'm walking out to have a smoke, and then behind me he comes in to the warehouse, like Wayne. And I turn around, there's Wayne. And I'm like, who the fuck's it going in there? Like?
I bet you didn't go out and check.
No, me and Wayne went in to investigate. No one there. Like.
So I ask you a question.
Jesus.
Did anyone in Super Value die in the past 3 years, 4 years? No one that you know. That's weird. Because there's a lot
How
of
sure are you?
stories,
Like you just don't know, or
No, I've been there. I've worked there for like 4 years now.
and no one's ever died. I was gonna say that could explain something because a lot of people, do you know that?
you
they-
have one from the barracks, or a few from the barracks, eh?
Yeah. Gorm's had it. They've hunted this. Well, I'll try to explain this one, like, because you know them mediums and all. I believe in it, and like, there's a lot of like videos. I seen one today actually. It's like a security fella. Let's say he's at a hospital, right? And he's sitting at the desk, and you can see this is CCTV footage, like of him sitting down, right? And then he's sitting there, and the doors, like the entrance to the hospital, opens, and he walks up. He takes off the barrier to let the person in,
Okay.
and he's talking to the person for like 2 minutes, and then he lets them in, and they walk. But on the CCTV footage, he's talking to nobody, to nothing.
What?
Yeah, there's no one there. Like on this, like
Nah, bro.
but there's an explanation to that, like, cause mediums say that like there's multiple, like, let's say, what could I say, like universes or like
Yeah.
different. It's called quantum immortality. So we're all immortal.
Infinite timelines.
Yeah. Yes. Basically like that.
Well, time
So
is unlimited.
she's alive. It was a woman. So she died in the hospital 2 days previous.
Okay.
And she's still alive in her universe and his universe.
And she hasn't left this one.
Yeah. But she's not there, like. But she still thinks she's alive. So in her universe that he's not in, she's still alive.
I hate talking about this thing.
Yeah.
Oh, he has to
They
walk
give
home
me
here,
the
bro.
creep.
Yeah, but like apparently there's 14 planes. This is how they explain it. There's 14 planes, and if you have a goal in your plane, and when you complete that goal, you move to the next plane. Or if you don't complete the goal, you'll restart. Or if you do something bad, you'll move down a plane.
Right. Is that not just
And
a
but
made up thing? Because nobody alive can explain that.
No, that's the way mediums explain what happens, and the way they can talk to dead people, like at that, because it takes a certain amount of time for you to move to the next plane. It's like being in a waiting room. So, let's say a mother has a baby.
Yeah.
And the baby dies at birth. That they don't they basically get reincarnated straight away into the same plane. They don't move up a plane or down a plane because they didn't fulfill their goal. But they can't move on until the mother dies because they're attached to the mother.
So they stay on this planet.
Their soul stays with the mother.
So you're saying like us now are on one plane?
We're on plane 7.
We're on plane 7.
On this one.
So where did the baby come from? Plane 6?
No,
Or
plane 7.
Or plane 8?
No, because it's born in this. What's the timeline? So it's plane 7, but it can't. It will reincarnate after the mother dies onto plane 7 to a different mother. So.
Oh, so all the planes are on different
it's basically
timelines.
Like, you could basically call it levels.
Yeah, yeah.
Level 9, but it's called planes. And so that's how medium explains it. And like a lot of them do explain it that way. The real ones, anyways.
The real ones.
Yeah.
To the fake ones.
Yeah, there is a few fake ones.
Of course there is.
But like, these ones are reals because they help solve murder cases.
Yeah, I listened to that Crime Junkie podcast, and they've often, obviously police don't believe them, but when they've no leads or nothing to go on, they, sometimes I've heard, I'll tell you 2 examples. They get like a medium, I'm not sure what to call it, something else than a medium, but what I found out was one time, a kid, they reckon he dreamt it, but there was so much evidence on the scene that they had to react on his so-called dream, but he was in the bedroom, so the police then were convinced that he actually seen it.
Right.
but there was 4 murders in that house and 2 kids left alive.
Yeah.
So one of them kids, who apparently dreamt it, could explain the hammer, the blood, the stabbing, and the splashback. So it made sense of what he was saying, and they reckon he either saw it then because he's saying he dreamt it, but who knows? And then there was another time they brought a medium in,
Yeah.
and she dreamt same thing, the location of this body.
Yeah.
So the police, no leads, they reacted on it because desperate, obviously, for leads,
Yeah.
and right exactly where this medium brought them, the body was buried.
Yeah.
It wasn't buried, sorry, it was left. It was like a pit, like an
Yeah.
alley pit out in a field,
Yeah.
and she could bring them there
Hmm.
because in her dream she followed the signposts on her way and brought them to the location of the body.
That's mad.
That's it's too coincidental to not believe it. You get me?
Yeah. And do you know what another common thing is? If you could look it up on Reddit and like this is very common. Like you'll probably I don't know you might experience it in your lifetime. You might know, but you can go to Reddit, you can look it up, and this is a common thing, and you'll see loads of people post about it. Kids, like young children, talking about past lives.
Mm.
That is quite common, and like they can talk about
Explain past what you mean by
like past like let's say like a child is saying to their mom like oh, I used to be a pilot, I used to be a farmer,
Yeah.
and they could say oh I lived there, and then they'd search into let's say a house like they could drive by and be like oh I used to live there, I was a pilot, and then they'd look into it and it turns out a person who was a pilot died there 50 years ago, or you know what I mean, like things like
yeah.
that, and that's actually quite common. So
We
yeah,
were talking about that a few weeks ago,
yeah,
reincarnation and stuff, and we were all talking about how like the human race started. And did you ever see? There's a movie on Netflix called Mother. Did you ever see it?
no,
I might explain it a bit.
It's basically this robot is put on like a ship, like let's say Mars, out of Mars, and she has like loads of these like embryos. You know what an embryo is?
No.
yeah,
It's like when a child is forming in a womb. Like, do you know what I mean?
Okay.
They're an embryo before they're like
Human.
yeah. So she has loads of them, and she like brings them to life and raises them as their mother. But that's what the movie's about. But there's like a theory that that's how like we came to Earth. That like the last planet we were on was fucked, and they sent like a robot over with loads of like embryos and all.
yeah,
And the robot's like job is to basically raise all these kids up,
yeah,
and then the kids kind of start like a civilization,
yeah,
and then the robot deactivates itself and like dies,
yeah,
and then the civilization lives from them kids.
yeah,
Yeah,
But
but
because
they're all theories. Like we can imagine whatever we want,
yeah,
like, and make up
yeah,
how that fucking anything happens.
yeah,
But you could do that now.
yeah.
When you think about like think of like the AI robots that they have now.
You
Like
can't actually
They're getting
rule
more
anything out.
realistic. Like,
you could do that. You could like put a load of sure they can make animals in a lab and all now.
yeah,
Like keep working on that a couple of years time, and you'll be able to make humans in a lab. Then
Mm.
you'd be able to train
I
these
feel
robots
like they already
to do
can
it.
make humans.
Yeah, but then you could train these robots
Surely you can if you have a fucking heart.
to go to Mars and
Yeah,
start a new civilization.
I feel like they can clone humans and make humans. There's a lot of technology they don't tell us about. Like,
Yeah, like would you not reckon right? So you die, yeah.
Hmm.
How do you die? It's only the fact your heart stops beating, isn't it? And
uh,
not you get your brains blown
yeah,
out. Your
there's
brain,
like, do you know any nurses?
oh, not to know, no.
Ask them a question.
Okay.
What happens just before someone dies? Ask them that question. I bet you a lot of them will say the same thing. Like, I'm pretty sure it's something like they take like a last breath, but it's like a breath of like release, and then apparently that's the moment the soul releases, and then like a lot of people like mediums would say like, is the person sad they died? Do they miss you? They don't miss you because as soon as you die, they're standing right beside you. But as I said, multiple verses, they probably know they died, and they probably some might know like didn't. It's hard for them to accept.
Yeah.
For some of them, some accept it, and there's a process
Yeah. Yeah.
they have to go through when you die for them to understand this sort of thing. And a lot of mediums, the real ones, would say that. Like they'd be there at their own funeral. They'd stand
Standing
right
there,
beside, let's
say
say,
who
hospital
came.
bed with you.
And they had the fear of missing out.
Yeah.
Not missing out on my own funeral.
You know, it's actually a very scary thing when someone dies. I've seen it. This isn't really paranormal. Like this is natural human response. You know, what would you call them? People like people that bring the bodies to the morgues, the funeral
Undertakers.
directed. Yeah, undertakers. Like you know the way the bodies are just laid out in the morgue.
Casket.
Yeah. You know, a lot of bodies sit up on their own.
What?
Like they just sit up.
Oh no, bro!
Yeah.
I'd box you straight in the head.
There's a few ones when they were delivering the bodies to the morgue, and like the body would just sit up with them. When they're driving the car, the body would be lying down, and it just sit up with them.
That mean not muscle spasm.
Yeah, it's a neurological muscle response or something.
So it's natural.
Yeah,
Right.
it's natural. That's why I said it's not paranormal. I just thought it's pretty creepy. Like you could be in the morgue and the body just.
Imagine that happening and you just start kickstarting again. Where am I?
Sorry, boys, we're only messing.
Surely this is illegal. I don't have the seatbelt on.
Yeah. No, you're still dead, but like the body
yeah.
itself is just.
But no, surely like that's how we live.
Yeah.
Your heart is beating. Moves the blood around the body to keep obviously your brain and everything working correctly.
Yeah.
So like if you don't get your head blown off, you think like a quick new heart there will sort you.
Yeah. But I do believe there's a soul inside you, and like your soul moves from like your body, like it's not you, it's your soul's you. If you know what I mean? Like you're just in control of this body sort of thing.
Yeah, I know what you mean. That's.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you get your head just be wrecked.
And
talking about this.
a lot of other mediums say it's like, what do you look like? Like when they're dead, like they say they actually look like when they were at their happiest in their entire life. So they could die at 80, and then when they see them, they could look like when the
20.
mediums see them, they look wherever 30, 20, when they were 30 or 20.
When they're happiest.
Yeah, at the happiest point in their life, that's what they look like. And
that's weird.
I think it's weird the way they explain that. Like they walk into rooms and they just see like ghosts, basically, like spirits.
It's weird how like I'd love to get a medium on like
That'd
ask
be a
them
great
how.
podcast if we could get a real good medium on.
Yeah, ask them how or where this idea of fucking talking to the dead became their job.
Yeah.
Where
I
it
think
evolved even.
Not naturally gifted, but I think you have to see the gift.
What if you don't? Do you reckon there's people out there that just don't react on it?
Yeah, I feel like, but I think they lose it. I think you need to feed the gift.
Keep it.
To keep it, yeah.
Yeah. If we can, let's say, kick a ball.
Yeah.
And then obviously now or 2 years later you just be shy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's crazy as well, but I think it's interesting too.
Yeah, that'd be a good person to get on just to.
I know everyone has a spirit guide as well. Actually, they say that as well.
I know somebody, obviously, I'm not gonna name her name, but she feels she can jump in and out of the spirit world.
Yeah.
And if you don't wash yourself straight after,
I know
you can get stuck there. I think you had that conversation with us.
Yeah.
Well, obviously I'm not gonna name her name.
Yeah.
But that's.
Yeah.
If there's any truth in that, that's fucking freaky.
Yeah.
I couldn't trust myself.
No, I think that it's quite scary. Well, obviously because we don't know about it, but if like we had the gift, then you probably wouldn't be too scared, would you? Because you see them all
Yeah, it's just part of you then, isn't it?
Just you.
Yeah, I suppose so. But let's get out of this conversation.
I haven't said that in about 20 minutes.
We sitting there real scared, looking around, looking at all
Here's
the
a better
corners.
note, boys. What do you think of Dana White after clattering his wife?
Did you see the video?
Seen the video.
Seen the video, yeah.
She hit him first.
She did hit him first.
She did hit him first.
But again, that's no way to
But he
react.
went to hit her twice.
Did he?
Yeah, he hit her and then he went to hit her again.
I thought he went to grab her arms the second time, do you get me? But you couldn't really see it very clear.
She turned away, I think.
But
I
I'm
don't
not
think-
making
I think she got
excuses.
pulled away.
Yeah.
I don't think it was a good. I think they're both at fault.
Oh, 100%.
And if like they're married couple and they're like
Willing to move past it.
move past it, talk about it, then I think they should be able to move past it.
Ah, they will move past it,
They have
obviously.
already, I think.
Yeah,
Let's be real, boys. A few drinks on you.
yeah, alcohol. Will
Yeah.
As well. I'm not saying it's an excuse.
Just no excuse if ever happened, like, to any of us.
Yeah,
But it's wrong both ways. Like, she should
Yeah.
No,
he shouldn't
100%.
have
It's not going to be wrong both ways in the public eye because he's a man and
Yeah.
she's a woman, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
personally,
should you see what he said? There's a quote from him in like 2010
10 or something. I've seen
or
that.
something.
Is
Yeah,
it?
he was like, "Oh, any man who lays a hand on a woman has no right in this UFC or something like that."
And him president.
they
Like,
said they won't be able to move past it.
Yeah, and him bringing back John Jones.
Yeah.
We won't
There you
get
go.
into it. Speaking of John Jones, the
Speaking.
Francis Ngannou fellas that they got his contract revoked. Is that what it's
Yeah,
called?
he wouldn't accept the money.
He wouldn't accept the money. They wanted to make him the highest paid heavyweight ever in the UFC.
Isn't that a bullshit
Oh,
reason?
heavyweights probably aren't paid that well. He's
Mm.
probably worth a lot more. Like he could get a boxing contract, let's say with Wilder or Fury, and he'd make a lot,
Can't tell you, bro.
more money. He'd make what 20, 30 million a fight if he got one with Tyson Fury or something. So like, maybe it's the right decision for his career, but I feel like
He
his-
sat on the belt for way too long. Like,
I
he had
feel-
to do
yeah,
something.
he
There's
should
more.
let it go. He should have let the belt go.
Mm.
I feel there's more hidden agenda behind just money as well because,
Yeah,
like that, John Jones comes out and it looks like he's running from it. He's complaining about
I'm
money.
sure he's the heaviest hitter ever. Like, he's gonna make money somewhere else.
yeah.
Sure, doesn't he have his punch force is something like getting hit by a car at 50 miles an hour?
The
or
Ford
something, isn't
Focus going at full speed.
it? Yeah.
What?
That's what getting a box off him is like. Yeah.
Yeah.
Full force box. Yeah.
No, so who's Jones fighting now?
Cyril Gain.
And was he interim or just I
I don't think there is an interim belt.
See, the
Is there?
heavyweight was.
Oh, there is an interim belt. Cyril Gain owns it because remember he bet title of
Was that for it?
I'm pretty sure it was. I'm not
But
too
that
sure.
that whole division was on, was on ice for so long over in Ghana not
Yeah.
fighting. Like how long did he sit on that belt? Like 2 years or something.
2 years is a long time
Yeah.
for. That's the difference between people in their prime and people not. You know what I mean?
Mm.
And I think if you're not consistent, every 9 to 12 months fight,
Yeah.
you should be made sweat about it. And then if something doesn't come up, even if it's just a defender, but
Yeah.
against some shithead, at least you're consistent.
Yeah.
But and you can see that because sometimes it's just knowing that
The sitting
deserves
on
a
the
title
belt
shot.
just stops the whole division moving around.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
Like what's the light heavyweight Yuri Prochaska when he hurt his knee and had to pull out, he let the belt go.
Yeah, so
Now I think Glover and Jamal Hill are fighting for the light
Yeah, he
heavyweight belt.
vacated that belt straight away.
Yeah, yeah.
Because he knew he'd be out that long. Like
Yeah.
that's fair enough. Like.
Yeah. And it wasn't-
that's why they should have more fucking weight divisions as well, not just cutting weight, but at least fighters can actually fight
yeah.
comfortably
But they
our
did that in
way.
boxing and it kind of ruined.
Yeah, no, but boxing's just boxing's boxing. Nowadays, boxing isn't like before.
I think
Whereas
boxing has gone very downhill. Like
completely, nobody. How many young fellas you hear want to be boxers nowadays? Like not often enough you hear. It's
Not
always
often.
kickboxing or jiu-jitsu or
MMA. And
Yeah.
stuff.
literally. Boxing's just, I think, it's fucking big fix now for money. It's a money organisation, obviously.
Yeah,
But
like imagine being a young child, seeing them fights like being fixed, and clear wins from, the boxer that has boxed better, obviously.
and them being, yeah,
And not
that's
like,
taking someone's identity away from them as well. Like
taking a
fighting there
career
to be-
away from them.
yeah, career. So
You could see bias in the UFC as well, though.
I seen boys after
Yeah.
that gym there, was it? Did make way?
Sean O'Malley and Petr Yan. Lot of
Good
guys
example.
that-
Yeah.
I think Petr Yan won.
Paddy the Baddy's last fight.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, he lost that.
McGregor Diaz too.
No, I don't see
Nah.
bias in that.
I think
Of course you
it's
don't,
McGregor
because
won
you're
that.
Irish. You love
No,
McGregor.
but
That's, you are being biased in saying that.
No, I don't think so.
Nah.
If you look at the fight,
Oh,
That
the
fight
watch it
was
knockdown.
so many
so
times.
close.
He
It
knocked
was so
Diaz
close.
down like 3 times.
Exactly.
Diaz never knocked him down. Like that's some big points getting knocked down. Like.
Mm.
Oh, if you
Yeah.
actually watch the whole fight, obviously, right? What was another fight?
That you don't think was right.
Yeah, and there's a couple recently.
Back to boxing, Katie Taylor's last fight.
Not
I
her
think
last
she
fight.
lost that.
Oh yeah, me and you were watching that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
I don't
second
think
last
she won
fight,
that either.
No, it was her last one, wasn't it?
Oh, her last one, she fucking went in, took the head off and left.
Oh, maybe.
Oh, it was the one before that.
Yeah, yeah.
Against Jake
The one that
Paul.
she's meant to be fighting again, isn't it?
Jake Paul's
Yeah.
boxer.
What style that fella? Jake Paul, he said he's gonna retire from boxing if some
He's joined the PFL.
fuck is VFL.
It's like another MMA big, well, up and coming sort of.
Yeah, he's
franchise.
taking on. Yeah, he's taking on Dana White. That's what was in there.
Yeah, and you know what? The PFL is actually like it looks pretty good.
If he pays fighters properly,
Yeah.
everyone will go.
If you
100%.
win the belt, you win €1 million. Check.
Jess was talking about that was last week.
Yeah.
It's a tournament. Isn't
Yeah,
it?
it's a tournament.
Yeah, and that's what like the Ultimate Fighting competition. That's what it's called, isn't it? The Ultimate Fighter.
UFC.
Yeah, no, but before you can go into the UFC, what they're fighting
Dana
for?
White's Contender Series.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably just something like that, is it?
The Ultimate Fighter is there's Dana White's Contender Series. You can get into the UFC through that, and then
There is
the
the
Ultimate Fighter
Yeah,
is like two fighters take a team each.
yeah.
So
Yeah,
like
obviously
McGregor
more
did
than
it with
that.
your man Uriah.
Fiver, yeah.
Uriah,
Favorite.
yeah. Remember he called him? He looks like a retired skateboarder.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
brilliant.
I remember your man. You know that video? I can't let you get close.
Yeah.
That was the Ultimate Fighter as well.
Do you see, there was a big foreign lad and, what's that American fighter? Oh, they went to war on it and the
Who?
man from Brazil and they were two coaches just boxed the head off each other live on it.
No,
I forget
That's
his
the
name.
video.
Chael
Is it?
Sonnen
Chael
and
Sonnen and
I'm useless with
the
names.
Brazilian fella. I can't
something
remember.
Oliveira, is it?
I don't know, but they wanted to fight each other or
Oh.
something. That's I can't let you get close.
Is that where that came
Yeah,
from?
yeah.
That was so funny. And did he get kicked off? He did. Him and two of the other
I don't know.
Not sure.
coaches.
actually.
But no, that's good. Boys, anyway, that's it, is it?
I don't know. I just want to say that I think John Jones is going to smash Shogun.
Yeah, do you want to say that loud and
Smash 'em.
proud?
John Jones is going to take the heavyweight belt and he's going to regain it.
That's ridiculous as well, though.
Why does he
That
get
he
a
just
title
comes
shot?
back and gets a title shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he is like.
Who else wants to
Who's
fight?
going to stop him?
Not me. Yeah,
That'll
no.
happen with McGregor as well. McGregor will come back and get a title shot
He
within
won't.
2 fights.
Well, yeah, within 2 fights, if he fights someone decent and wins, if he
Yeah.
fights Chandler, he won't fight Poirier again, I don't think, for another while.
He's gone up a weight class anyway.
Oh, is he?
With the welterweight.
No, with the steroids.
Oh,
He's
Leon
jukes
Edwards.
to bits, boys.
Leon Edwards and
Usman
Usman.
3.
March 18th in London. Justin Gaethje on.
Is it in London?
London, yeah.
Get
Justin
the ferry.
Gaethje and someone else on.
So how much
the
tickets are
co-main.
UFC?
Much.
The shittest tickets in the O2, that's where it'll be. The shittest tickets in the O2 are like 400 quid. And you're right up the back, probably behind the
It's an
pole.
experience, though, isn't it?
It is. The UFC would be better Bellator, 100%.
Oh, yeah.
How much we pay? What, €90 for a ticket to Bellator?
Yeah, and it-
Yeah, but
That's
it's-
even too much.
They
Like,
put something in the beer in Bellator.
yeah,
I don't give a
yeah.
fuck what anyone says.
Have a straightness on the top shelf.
2 points on your lock.
Aye.
What about the 4 cans you had before on the drive up?
True. You did forget about them.
You do forget about the free drinks.
Yeah, free drinks is when you get a bit tipsy, boys.
Literally.
When's the
I think
next
it will
Bellator?
because, yeah, it's Bellator in February.
February 18th.
When you buy a pint at Bellator, you don't just buy one, you buy 2.
You don't buy 2, you buy
Three.
4 because you're guaranteed to spill 2 on the way up.
Yeah, true.
That's probably because you're carrying 4.
Yeah.
Never thought about it like that. Actually.
Yeah.
Here's got the head clean, not me last one. No, we
Oh,
won't talk about that. Call it a wrap, boys.
call it.
Call it.
Right.
Call
In
Not,
a bit.
not stall it, it's call it.
it. In a bit.
In a bit.